What's up, guys? Welcome to a little analysis video I'm doing on Halo Campaign Evolved, the new remake of Halo Combat Evolved. Here we go. So, one thing that I am noticing is that there is a lot of scrutiny about this, and a lot of people bashing it for reusing assets from Halo Infinite, which, uh, which I kind of get why people would consider that lazy in a way, but like at the same time, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because the Halo Infinite assets look absolutely incredible. Actually, I wouldn't even really call it lazy. That's just practical. I mean, if you've got an asset that looks really, really close to what you are actually looking for, then just use that. I mean, um, let's see. First things first, here is a comparison album someone made. Here is looking out over the ocean towards the ring on Silent Cartographer. You can see just how badly Combat Evolved has aged. The comparison is just night and day. The water reflections are far better. The water look is far better. It's just the shaders are incredibly different. The Forerunner structures, I know this has received a lot of scrutiny because I know people are like, oh, we don't want the Halo Infinite aesthetic. But at the same time, there's no getting around that because Halo Infinite kind of retconned the established Forerunner architecture in a way that is kind of reminiscent of the way it looked in Halo 3, but at the same time on a much more grandiose look that is absolutely incredible. Because you can see, like, the geometry follows the door a bit more. The shading is absolutely incredible. It actually looks like metal now. The lighting is quite a bit better because, like, there's more point sources, so the shadows are more correct. I know the top images in this little album thing are more nostalgic, but at the same time, nostalgia can sometimes blind you to what can be improved. Because after all, this remake is not about preserving history. I mean, for God's sakes, you have your history. You can play it on Master Chief Collection right now. They're not taking that away from you. But, like, this is an evolution of the first game, not a direct one-to-one remake. It is an evolution of what Bungie was originally trying to do, but couldn't because of the technology of the time. This image has been extremely divisive because I am a huge fan of the Forerunner architecture on the top, or not on the top, but on the bottom. I'm a fan of both of them, really, but if I had to pick one, I'd pick the one on the bottom. Because it's more in line with Infinite's art style, and I know a lot of people didn't like Halo Infinite, but it was a massive return to formula for the Halo aesthetic. And the words I see thrown around for the old Forerunner aesthetic are monolithic, brutalist, which I see regurgitated all the time, ancient, mysterious. Ancient and mysterious could also be applied here, but just in a different way, because it's ancient, but how has it remained so clean? And that's kind of part of the mystery of the Forerunners, is because they are such a technologically advanced race, were a technologically advanced race. They're not obviously around anymore now, haven't been for like 100,000 years. But, like, it still has this mystery about it because you're like, what is this structure? What is it for? What does it do? And, like, how long ago was it built? It's a lot cleaner, but then again, that's alright because, you know, that's kind of a modernization with the Forerunners. You can see, like, the clouds are a lot better. They're no longer, like, the two-dimensional model. I think they're volumetric now. The Magnum looks absolutely incredible. It looks very faithful to its original form. The sand, the whole beach, the whole island looks absolutely incredible. The warthog is a thing of beauty here, because like it's much more like itself, you know? If you compare it with the original one from Combat Evolved, like, there's not many differences aside from just 25 years of graphical fidelity. But, like, back to the other one, like, I know what they were trying to convey here and what they were trying to convey here, and it's like two fundamentally different design languages, but my brother in Christ, you're talking about a game from 2001. That is 25 years ago. The processing power wasn't what it is now. The processing power is actually quite poor compared to what it is now with most gaming PCs. So obviously you're going to see this updating of structure and aesthetic, because now we have the processing power, because, you know, they were using primitive shapes here. Those require very, very little processing power. The shaders were also basic, just cube maps overlaid with textures. Very, very basic. Here is one that is, again, a night and day difference. The cliff sides look amazing. They actually look like rock. The beach looks like an actual, like, rocky, sandy beach. The trees look amazing. They look more organic. This structure has also been a bit divisive, but, like, at the same time, I kind of see both sides, whereas this one's very nostalgic. This one's more in line with the rest of the Forerunner structures that you see throughout the game, because, like, because, like I said earlier, this is not a preservation of history, this is an evolution of history. This is taking something that we're all familiar with and saying, what if this was made today? What kind of design languages would we see? How advanced would it look? And I gotta say, the bottom picture looks far, far better. Because everything's more just unique looking. The crashed pelican. Oh my god, the crashed pelican. That looks amazing. Back then, they couldn't have the processing power for, like, the smoke and particle emitters, for, like, sparks, fire, smoke. So they had just very basic smoke. But, like, it was just kind of put there with some ammo scattered around here, flipped warthog. Now, it looks like this thing dug a trench into the beach when it crashed, and it spewed, like, fuel everywhere, because you can see, like, the bushes and stuff set ablaze and, like, charring on the rocks. Warthog over here, probably some ammo scattered around like it was in the original. Let's see. The security room on the cartographer island looks incredible. The hologram looks far better. Like, it looks cleaner in a way. You can see the geometry is a lot more defined, more elegant, in a way that, like, it still keeps the original look intact, more or less, but in a way that is updated to modern graphics standards. The warthog, that is a thing of beauty. I mean, look at it. It has the silhouette of the original. It has mostly the geometry of the original, but, like, the tires are really cool, because they're like this airless tire design where it's like a triangular honeycomb. The windshield looks really cool. They have, like, that little light on top. They have, like, that little brace thing right there. The machine gun looks amazing. But like I said, the environment looks incredible. The same shot looking out over the ocean. You can see the plasma pistol looks really good. It is a faithful recreation of the original, but also with some elements of the Halo Reach design. You can just see, like, the beach looks more natural. The clouds look incredible. Now, here's one thing that is really cool, because I don't know if okay, here we go, elites. This is one thing I love about the reuse of the infinite assets, is because, like, you have this iconic design, but at the same time, over here is a much more modernized approach to it. Like I said, it's what if this was made today? You can see the armor is a lot more realistic. With, like, the plating, the metallic sheen. They tried really hard and succeeded at getting it to look like it's original. Which I don't really understand why a lot of people are bashing the Halo Infinite models, because they look spectacular. The hunters, the big bosses that you find occasionally, they look really cool. You can see they still have that nice cobalt blue color in the armor, nice metallic sheen. It looks like these things have been through hell, because you can see it's all scratched up, it's like scuffed, the paint's starting to wear. The Jackal's got the glow up of the century. You can see, like, the Banished aesthetic, which is sort of an updating of the Covenant aesthetic, really. Like, I mean, if they palette swapped this, it would fit in perfectly with the Covenant. But, like, you can see, like, they're much healthier looking than the sickly whatever the hell they are over here. The shields look a lot better. Just overall, the Jackals look a lot better. The grunts are another thing I was talking about, because you can see it still has the same design language, just with a few alterations, but mainly it's all there. Like, the design language is still all there. Like, it conveys the shape and color, it conveys their weird anatomy. Back to this picture. The shading is absolutely phenomenal. The lighting is on point. You can see, like, the plasma bolts that are being fired actually light up the environment like they do in other games. And you can see the rich cobalt blue of the Elite Miner is a lot more metallic now, because it looks like they have applied another shader on top of it. Because the original was just a cube map overlaid onto a texture, so it gave the impression of shiny metal. But, you know, they were working with the limitations of the technology of the time. Yeah, the Elite Major with the nice cherry red armor looks absolutely incredible. You can see the blood on the ground from the grunt here also looks really cool, because it's like that nice luminous blue that they had in the original. Like, I don't care about the little display screen on the Needler, because, you know, that's just part of the Infinite design. But, like, I love it. I love everything about this. This is my favorite iteration so far of Combat Evolved. Couple more things, like, you can see, like, here's the installation where you go down and, like, there's, like, the cartographer down at the very depths of the thing. You can see it just looks spectacular. Granted, I kind of do think the 60-round mag on the assault rifle could be restored. However, what I think compensates for cutting the magazine capacity in half is the fact that it looks like they buffed accuracy and damage to compensate for that. The Needler, of course, the Halo Infinite design looks absolutely spectacular, and the fact that they have the aim down sights thing is really cool. It's like bringing it sort of into the modern era. But one thing that I will address is sprint being in this game, because I don't mind that, as long as it's fun to play. And honestly, who gives a damn? You can literally just not sprint. You can, and nobody's forcing you to press down the button or even have the toggle enabled in the first place. Hold on, I'm trying to find one of the images. Ooh, here we go. The Elite Zealot reveal. When the door opens and the Zealot comes out through the door. In the original, he just kind of runs out, looks around. But here, oh my god. They got that aura about it. Because, like, the door opens, it's dark, you see the sword flare up, revealing the Elite wielding it. It looks spectacular. This is another bit of the Forerunner architecture I really like. It's a nice update of the original in a way that follows the aesthetic of Halo Infinite, which I know a lot of people find kind of controversial, but like, it seems like they're going for a more unified art style. Here is the same structure I showed earlier where the Hunter battle takes place, but one of the things I like is the fact that this spire in the middle is kind of reminiscent of the Forerunner beam towers that you see in the second mission in the game. Here it is in Combat Evolved Anniversary, which was about 10 years ago, and here it is in the original game, but like this beam tower is kind of brought across in this structure here. Like, it's reminiscent of other Forerunner structures you find throughout the ring. So, I am really, really into this. The plasma rifle looks absolutely incredible. I don't see why people are complaining about this at all. The sound design is incredible. And if this is just... and what we are seeing is just one level. Level 4, the Silent Cartographer. I can't wait to see the rest of the game, because it has been teased that we will get new Flood forms. And if the Covenant look as spectacular as they do in these images with the Infinite aesthetic, I can't wait to see what the Flood looks like. Or what the Library looks like with like the dark lighting being illuminated by gun flashes. But anyways, that is my like 50 cents on this, because I weighed in my 2 cents like a billion times here. But I'll see you again soon.